For the 100% cheapest coins on the internet with reliable delivery and quick customer support, check out my sponsor MMOEXP by clicking the link at the top of the description and use code SWIFT at checkout for 5% off. Salsos family, and today I'm coming back at you guys with another Madden 22 video on the channel, and in today's video, let's talk about 6 confirmed mod changes that are coming to Madden 22 in 6 minutes. Now, if you do enjoy the video here today, scroll down and leave a like. Can we get 600 likes, staying on that trend of 6? I don't know if we can do it, but if we can, that would be awesome. It takes 1 second out of your day, so scroll down and do so. And if you do like this video, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to do a bunch of other videos whenever we get new news, so if you want to stay in the loop, hit that sub button with the noti bell turned on. Alright, so let's get into change number 1, and change number 1 is a new way of selling your players with price ranges and other auction house features. So on the screen right here, you guys will see how this change is going to work. There's a screenshot on the screen which shows you guys the updated auction block, and there's a couple of interesting things to note about this change. Now, the first aspect of the change is not controversial at all. It's definitely a good thing, and that's going to be those top 2 sections where you guys will see on the screen right now, and that is simply giving the seller more information as to how much the card is truly going for without having to click L1 and going on to the auction house. It's going to show you guys the recent sales. It's going to show you guys the median price to make sure you're selling your cards at the right price without spending too much time. Now, this is very similar to the companion app, which shows you guys all the recent sales when you go to sell your player. It's a huge hit on the companion app, and I think it's going to be great in MUT. Now, the controversial part of this change is going to be price ranges, and price ranges are going to limit the amount you can sell your cards for, which has a major effect on sniping. Now, there's going to be a minimum and a maximum price range, and we have absolutely zero clue how big the price range is going to be right now. We don't know how far away the price range is going to be from that median price point, but we know there's a min and we know there's a max, and as long as EA does this right and they don't make the minimums too high up and they don't make the maximums too low down, and then I think this change is going to be solid. But if they get really annoying with this and shrink that price range down to a really small range, I think that's not a good thing for Madden, as they're kind of just taking over the market and making it so it's not a free market system. And the market in Madden is one of the best things about MUT 21, or really any other MUT game in general, so tweaking it, I'm not a huge fan, but as long as they don't do too much, this should be good. Now, number 2, we have a very popular change, which is stat tracking for your cards in Madden 22 Ultimate Team. Now, here's how stat tracking works. I'm on Madden 21, and I'll show you guys what's going to happen. Essentially, what you guys will do is go on over to your player, like RG3, for example, and when we click R1 and we move on over, there's going to be a new tab called stat tracking or stats, and that's going to show you guys the stats for the player, so you guys can see how well he's playing online, and this is a really good change in my opinion. Now, not only does this allow you to look back at your player stats and have a more immersive, like, game day in Madden 22, but I think it's also really good when it comes to making upgrades for your team. A lot of us don't have time to look at all of the players on the field, and we don't know which of our offensive linemen are maybe giving up sacks, or which of our defensive linemen are shedding and getting tackles for loss. So seeing those stats on the back of our cards is going to allow us to see what players are playing well and what players aren't maybe playing so well, to maybe help with upgrades and maybe help us find the best players to fit on our teams. Moving on, let's talk about 2 new promos coming into the game. The first one is Football Outsiders. So Football Outsiders was kind of leaked in the beta. It was one of the programs in the auction block on the beta. It was called Football Outsiders, and Football Outsiders, if you guys did not know, I believe it was last in the game in Madden 20. I know it was definitely in there for Madden 19, and this is kind of similar to PFF. If you guys don't know what PFF is, that's Pro Football Focus, which is basically a website that just grades people and grades how well they do in regular game day. And Football Outsiders does something very similar. So the way this kind of works are players that are getting a really high score on Football Outsiders are more likely to get cards in the game. I would say this is going to be similar to like veterans or heavyweights. We might get these cards on like Wildcard Wednesday. We'll probably get card drops every couple of weeks for Football Outsiders, and I actually do like the promo because it's making sure that people that are actually playing well and actually getting good grades are getting good cards in Madden, whereas a lot of the promos in Madden are kind of big name centric. This is going to make sure that the players that are actually doing well in your favorite team are getting an upgrade and getting a card in Madden 22. Now, next up, we have another promo, and this one is called Primetime Performers. This is going to be change number 4 in Madden. It's a new promo. It's called Primetime Performers. Let's explain how it works. So Primetime Performers is kind of like Team of the Week, but on a smaller scale. Essentially, the way Primetime Performers works is someone that has a good game on Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night is then going to get a card in Madden 22. Now, these cards weren't LTDs, I don't believe. The last time these cards were in the game, it was actually in Madden 19. So I'll put up a couple of screenshots on the screen right now so you guys can see how those cards look. But as we take a look at some of the players, Von Miller got a card, Matthew Stafford got a card, Doug Baldwin got a card. He was actually a really good receiver back in the day. And and then I believe also Hunter Henry got a card, but a lot of other people got cards as well, and it really just comes down to how well did these cards play. So if someone had a really good game, they're likely to get a primetime performer card, and what this is hopefully going to do is it's hopefully going to give us more content throughout the weeks. Maybe they just drop like one card on Friday after the Thursday game, on Monday after the Sunday game, and on Tuesday after the Monday game. Even just doing that gives us a little bit more content of the game. Maybe it's an LTD player you can pull out of the training variety packs, and I think that would be a good addition when it comes to promos. It's definitely coming into the game, we just don't know how they're going to do it. Change number 5, strategy cards. Let's explain what these are and how they're going to be in Madden 22. Now, from what it looks like so far, strategy cards are kind of the replacement to chemistry in Madden 22. As you guys can see, there's chemistry boosts on your team in Madden 21, and these are really effective. They give you pass blocking, they give you a whole bunch of stuff, and they're doing it +2 or +4, so they're really overpowered. Now, from what it looks like so far, a strategy card is kind of like a card that you put in like the special team section or the specialist section, and it gives your whole team a specific boost. You don't have to go grind and put all the chemistries on your players. You are simply getting that boost on your entire team. And strategy cards, I think, could have a lot of depth. They can make it so some strategy cards are really limited, really hard to get, and maybe you have to complete a whole bunch of challenges, but once you do that, maybe that card gives you like +1 acceleration or something like that, which is really effective. Whereas some of the more common cards that maybe you get for doing solos, maybe winning a couple of head-to-head games, those are giving you a little bit of pass blocking, maybe some like run blocking, and then maybe like defensive line shedding. They're all really random, and they're gonna boost your entire team. I believe there's 3 different cards you guys can play at one time. I like this edition because I think chemistries are a little bit overpowered right now. As you guys can see, Sprinter, Balance D, Playfic, that gives so much of a boost to my team. So having a strategy card instead, which is a little bit less powerful, but actually might add a little bit of like a skill gap of sorts, because some cards are better than others, that is a good addition to the game, and that's coming to Madden 22. Now, final tweak is going to be halftime adjustment. Let's explain how this one works. That is 6 things. I'm probably over 6 minutes already, but let's talk about how this works. All right, halftime adjustments. Now, essentially what halftime adjustments are they're related to your abilities, they're related to your X factors. Now, I don't know exactly how this is going to look in Madden 22, but the way that I'm envisioning this looks is, let's say, for example, I activated my 15 AP that I really liked, but I had some other abilities on my players that were not yet activated. And let's say I was playing defense and I had my 15 AP activated, but the unactivated AP was a little bit more like a run defense focus. So I had some players with inside stuffs, I didn't activate them at D-line, and then halftime comes around, my opponent's been running the ball a ton, and I want to switch my abilities. Well, since I have those abilities on my cards, but they're simply not activated, we can go on ahead and make that adjustment at halftime to be able to slow down our opponent. Now, in my opinion, this is a good thing. What this is going to do is it's going to force people to be balanced. If you're running the ball every play, you can just switch up the abilities at halftime and absolutely shut that down. Same thing might even happen with passing. If someone's passing the ball every single play, it's a little bit harder to use abilities to stop that because passing is a little bit more skill-based, but potentially you can actually use some abilities to do that. Now, what this is going to do, like I said, is it should make the game more realistic. It should make it more balanced. People are going to have to run the ball. People are going to have to pass the ball, because if you load up on one thing, the other person can simply switch their abilities at halftime. So those are 6 changes in hopefully 6 minutes. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Obviously, subscribe for more Madden 22 content, and until next time, boys, I am out. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace.
So slow, out.